Good day, ma'am. My name is Dayanti Quizon. Our topic for today is the Presidential Decree 1151 Philippine Environmental Policy. So, Philippine Environmental Policy was signed by Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr. last June 6, 1977. So this policy, he create or formulate to protect our environment, and also we need to we need proper segregations can help keep the environment clean, but also makes community um, health standard better.
The PD 1151, or the Philippine Environmental Policy, was established in its purpose to develop, maintain, and enhance environments that will allow people and nature to live in productive and enjoyable harmony, to meet social, economic, and other needs of the future and present generations of the Filipinos. And lastly is to ensure that an environment that supports a life of dignity and well-being is attained.
The goal of the Philippine environmental policy recognizes, discharges, and fulfills the responsibilities of its generation as trustee and guardian of the environment for succeeding generation. Assures the people of a safe, decent, healthful, productive, and aesthetic environment. So they can ensure that people will be safe, healthy, productive, and preserve nature for new generation. Encourages the widest exploitation of the environment without degrading it or endangering human life, health and safety, or creating conditions adverse to agriculture, commerce, and industry. Preserve important historic and cultural aspects of the Philippine heritage. Preserve the heritage of our nature, such as corals, which are forbidden to take because they are heritage of nature and home of fishes. Attains a rational and orderly balance between population and resources use. In order to be balanced a relationship between people and their environment. Improves the utilization of renewable and non-renewable resources.
The PD 1151, or the Philippine Environmental Policy, aims to give us or provide environmental sustainability and resource management, since the population growth can have significant impacts on the environment. Also, the Philippine Environmental Policy aims to focus on managing the country's natural resources in a way that it promotes sustainability and consider the long-term well-being of its citizens.
The provision of Section 3 of Presidential Decree 1151, issued on 1977, it provides guidelines and implementation of comprehensive land use plans and zoning regulations of the Philippines. So these sections outlines the requirements for local government units to create these plans and promote sustainable development. So the right to a healthy environment. PD 1151 promotes and recognizes the right of the Filipino people to a healthful environment. It stressed out the duty and responsibility of each individual to contribute to the preservation and enhancement of the Philippine environment. So it means that individuals have the legal entitlement to live in and enjoy an environment that is clean, safe, and free from pollution and harmful activities.
Environmental Impacts PD 115 Sector 4, 1977. The environmental impact of the proposed action project or undertaking. Any adverse environmental effect which cannot be avoided shall the proposal be implemented. Alternative, the most proposed action. A determination short-term use of the environment are consistent with the maintenance and enhancement the long-term productivity of the same. So which is affect our life, like human impact of the society, which is burning fossil fuel, deforestation, or mining. This is one of example of the impact of our environment. Thank you.
Certainly, PD 1151 refers to Presidential Decree number 1151, which is a law in the Philippines related to environmental impact assessment. It mandates that all agencies and entities, whether government-owned, controlled corporations, or private corporations, must adhere to certain environmental considerations when planning and executing actions, projects, or undertakings. Here are the key requirements outlined in PD 1151. Evaluate and document potential environmental impact including air and water quality, soil health, and biodiversity. Identify and document adverse environmental effects that cannot be avoided if the project proceeds. Encourage the exploration of eco-friendly alternatives such as different methods or locations to minimize environmental impact.
A determination that the short-term uses of the resources of the environment are consistent with the maintenance and enhancement of the long-term productivity. So some example of environmental productivity is the water, mineral, and forest. So whenever a proposal involves the use of depletable or non-renewable resources, so some example of the depletable is the overpopulation of the population and the erosion and the pollution. And some example of non-renewable resources is the oil, natural gas, coal, and the nuclear energy.